We've talked about a lot of fake punts and gutsy decisions on this channel. From the very recent, like the one we saw on Thanksgiving between Dallas and Washington, to the old, like what we saw back on opening day of the 1973 season between the Cowboys and the Bears, we've covered some gutsy moves that bordered on stupidity. But as the old saying goes, it's only stupid if it doesn't work. And man, is that the case here. On opening day of the 1972 season, we had one of the gutsiest, most insane fake punts ever that wound up working out somehow. And this is the story behind that. Here's the context behind the play. It's September 17th, 1972, and the Houston Oilers are traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos in this AFC matchup. For the Broncos, the Oilers have been their kryptonite in recent years. Over the last 6 meetings, the Oilers are 5-0-1 against Denver, with the most recent game being a 31-21 victory by Houston at the Astrodome back in 1970. Both the Oilers and Broncos were 4-9-1 the previous year, so to start this season off on the right foot with a win would be nice. And to start off, it was the Broncos on the front foot. After Jim Turner kicked things off with a 45-yard field goal, Steve Ramsey ran it in from 3 yards out to score the first rushing touchdown of his career and make it a 10-0 game. And then, once Ramsey found Billy Masters on a 25-yard touchdown pass in the second quarter, Denver was ahead 17-0. It seemed like a dream start for the fans at Mile High Stadium. While Houston didn't go away quietly into the night, as Dan Pastorini threw 2 touchdowns of his own, Denver never trailed at any point. The Broncos led 17-10 at the half, and then late in the fourth quarter, they led it 23-17. After getting stopped on third down, the Broncos were forced to punt late in the fourth quarter in their own territory. And for some inexplicable reason, what happens next is truly amazing, baffling, and just about every other adjective you can think of. Take a look.
Measure on the last play of the game when an alleged punt turned into a 66-yard touchdown scamper for Billy Van Heusen. The 30-17 Denver victory left the Broncos alone at the top in the AFC West, and they have never been there before this late in the season.
That's right. On the last play of the game, Billy Van Heusen runs it in from 66 yards out to score a walk-off touchdown. Why this happened? I have no idea. You think that in that situation, you would either keep your offense out there and just have Steve Ramsey throw a bomb high and out of bounds, you have your punter run backwards and take a safety, or you have your punter get the ball off as quickly as possible. You don't call a fake punt just because way too much can go wrong. If it gets stopped, the Oilers have the ball with a Hail Mary opportunity, just like we saw with what happened in 1987 between the Cincinnati Bengals and the San Francisco 49ers. You can check that video out in the upper right corner. Plus, there's always the possibility that Van Heusen fumbles the ball, although to be fair, he did start games at wide receiver for the Broncos in 1968 and 1970, so he's not your typical punter. And what's amazing is that despite my best efforts, I could not find one quote from anyone about why a fake punt was called here or who decided to run it. The media just glossed over the fact that a team, up by 6 points in their own territory late in the game, decided to run a fake punt and it resulted in a 66-yard touchdown on the final play. Whatever the case may be, the game set the tone for the rest of Houston's season, as they finished the year at 1-13 with the worst record in the NFL. Oddly enough, this is not the first time I made a video about the 1972 Oilers, as if you want to see them get demolished by the Bengals, you can check that out in the upper right corner. And for those curious, no, I do not know what the spread or the over-under was on this one, or whether or not this is the worst bad beat in NFL history. There is a fine line between crazy genius and crazy stupid, and man did the Broncos teeter with that line here. A fake punt up by 6 in your own territory looks like a dumb decision if it fails and then the Oilers win it because of the great field position. But if it works, it's remembered more than half a century later as one of the wackiest fake punts and finishes to a game of all time. Be sure to like this video, ring the notification bell, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. This helps the channel out a lot. And be sure to check out Twitch every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for your chance to play NFL Trivia and win cash prizes. Link in the description below. If you want to see videos like this condensed down to 60 seconds, then follow me on TikTok at JarroGator9 and subscribe to 60 Second NFL History on YouTube. Also, special thanks to all of our Patreon supporters for helping out the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. See how you can become a patron and request future video topics in the description below.